Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear audience. As promised earlier, today's video is really going to help you in many ways. So, as some of my students have personally requested to make a video on report writing, so I have decided that I am going to incorporate a lot of things in this video so that your multiple issues are addressed here. So, this report is not only going to clear you about the report writing format, but along with it, it is also going to express the use of uh, persuasive techniques in your directed writing and also how evaluation is done. So you watch this video till the end. It may take little longer, not more than 10 to 12 minutes, but I am sure that after watching today's video and after reading this text with me till the end, your problem for doing evaluation, paragraphing's problem is really going to be resolved. So stay tuned. For the report writing, I must tell you that report writing is actually a formal text. And directed writing styles is known to all of us that there are two texts which are given, and then we extract the ideas and opinion. We go for the explicit and implicit meanings, and then afterwards we go to address the question, whatever is the question set there. So for a report writing, it is always a formal text, and it may be suggested in the question that you're going to begin your report with to the principal. If not, then you may start in this way, to the principal. Okay, now the this report is actually on the issue of banning the homework. So let's see that how the writer addresses this issue in the first paragraph. I'm writing to express my full support for the proposed ban on homework. This proposal is showing that this is something in progress and people are talking about it in the school. A decision that would greatly improve students' well-being and overall learning experience. The traditional belief that homework is essential for academic success is outdated. And the reality is that it places unnecessary pressure on students without delivering significant benefits. So you can see that precisely and in a very effective way, the writer has presented his point of view. And there is some use of emotive language when he says that significant benefit and unnecessary pressure. And they are really, bring the audience to your side. Now, we start with the evaluation in the next paragraph. And for the evaluation, we always start with the ideas and opinion of our opponents. I mean, the one who are on the other side. We believe that, okay? So many argue that homework reinforces what is learned in school and helps students identify areas of weakness. So this is the belief of the opponent. This is one counter argument. And here is the evaluation or the refutation. While this argument may seem logical, it assumes that all students learn best through repetitive assignment. This is the implicit idea that behind the homework, the theory is that the things are repeated so that they can be learned in the better way, ignoring the fact that different individuals absorb information in different ways. Now, learning should be an engaging and interactive process. So it should be interactive and engaging, not a monotonous cycle of school lesson followed by hours of additional work at home. Would a doctor prescribe the same medicine to every patient without considering their unique condition? See the use of rhetoric question. And the rhetoric question is here reinforcing the idea that same kind of repetitive, monotonous homework cannot be assigned for all the students the way one medicine cannot go for each patient. So it is actually challenging the idea that homework is beneficial for all students. So you can see that one point is taken and very effectively it has been refuted. and not only refuted, it has been elaborated, and then one example is also given to make the point. So I must say that you should go for the quality of your work, not the quantity. You may choose less ideas and elaborate them in the best possible way, rather than taking a lot of ideas and then messing them up, or not evaluating them to the required standard. Now, supporters of homework claim that it teaches discipline and management. This is one of the very strong point of the people who are supporting homework, skills that are essential for adulthood. However, this perspective fails to consider the reality that an excessive workload leads to stress, burnout, and even resentment towards learning. So you can see that it was something very strong logic by the homework lovers, and see that how effectively it has been it has been refuted. Okay, now look at the evaluation. This argument highlights the emotional and psychological toll of homework, which is overlooked. So that definitely homework is a burden. Everybody agrees to it, and it is really tough that after staying in home for many hours, you go to home and then you start doing your homework. So when students spend their entire evening buried under piles of assignments, they lose the chance to develop other crucial life skills like creativity, communication, and independent thinking. So you see that how effectively, in a nutshell, all these things are discussed, that spending the time on this user's homework will deprive students of other useful things. So you see that there is a use of hyperbole, like under piles of assignments, exaggeration, which we can say. Now, a man shackled by endless tasks cannot soar. It remains trapped in routine, unable to innovate. So it's a metaphor that homework restricts intellectual freedom, much like shackles prevents movement. So you can see that here was the counter argument, the point from the other side. Now, here is my refutation or evaluation, and it has been further discussed and it has been further developed, and then it has been reinforced by the use of this metaphor. So this is how you can go in detail. You can develop on your evaluation which you are doing, rather than simply paraphrasing it. So paraphrasing cannot bring that effect in your writing, because paraphrasing is not needed. We need to evaluate the ideas. Okay, so let's move on. Additionally, look at the use of this connector. Not all students have suitable environment for completing homework. Some have to deal with noisy household, family responsibilities, or even they are doing some part-time job. So making it nearly impossible to complete assignment effectively. How can we expect students to produce their best work in conditions that are beyond their control? Again, a very important technique of persuasion, that is, rhetorical question, is used to make the point. So it emphasizes the unfairness of assigning homework without considering individual circumstances. So a blind throwing of homework on the student is of no use. Instead of reinforcing inequality, schools should focus on maximizing learning within the classroom, where all students have equal access to resources. After all, a race is only fair when all runners start from the same line. So an analogy is used which highlights how homework disadvantages certain students. I mean, it is fine for some of the students, but it's not for many other students. So you see that a very effective development and logically handling of this counter argument has been done in this paragraph. And with this, the use of language and the use of persuasive element has definitely made it wonderful. Now, look at this that the next paragraph starts with a connector, moreover. And with the use of connector, I always tell that your ideas go here, your ideas are linked. It shows that you are, talking in continuity. So bring a lot of connectors in your writing. Moreover, scientific studies have shown that excessive homework does not necessarily lead to better academic performance. So this argument is strong because it is based on research rather than opinion, making it more credible. So here you are making your point that it increases burden on student. Countries with the minimal homework, such as Finland, consistently outperform those that burden their students with excessive assignment. Clearly, success is achieved not through longer study hours, but through smarter work. So you see that very strong, sensible refutation is done for the point. More effective learning strategies. Why continue a practice that has been proven ineffective when there are better alternatives? So use of another rhetorical question in a very effective way has been done. So you think of making, such wonderful rhetorical question in your writing and try to bring quality in your evaluation. It is often said that students should balance academics with physical activity. Yet homework leaves them with little to no time for exercise. This contradicts the advice of health professionals who stress the importance of movement for mental and physical well being. A candle that burns too long melts into nothing. So, in the same way, a student overloaded with homework loses motivation and energy. So, you see that very effectively this metaphor has been used. It illustrates the exhaustion caused by an excessive workload. So instead of assigning more work, schools should encourage students to explore sports, music, and other enriching activities that contribute to their overall developments. So you see that one after the other, the points are really effectively linked, and they are interconnected. They don't seem that they are lying separately. They seem that they are knitted together. So this is what we need in our directed writing. A coherence, a linking of ideas is really important. Now, look at the last paragraph where he says that rather than clinging to an outdated system, we should embrace change. It's a bold assertion. Positions the argument as progressive and necessary. So it's showing that this should be done. It is the conclusion now towards the end after this whole discussion. Education should be about quality, not quantity. And true learning happens when students are motivated, not overwhelmed. So, students should be made motivated. They should not be overwhelmed by the homework. Banning homework is not about making life easier for students. It is about making education more effective, fair, and overjoyed. So use rule of three is also used here. So you can see that here the report ends by the last closing reported by the name, and look at the format of the date writing. This is how this date should be done. So here you can see that remaining to the point without talking any thing extra or without irrelevant elaboration, being to the point, effectively the point is made in this report. So this is how you have to focus on bringing, that what is actually required rather than stretching it to nothing. So I hope that you have really liked this video, and this sample is going to help you a lot in your own improvement and writing your own report and looking at the style of evaluation. Thank you very much. Stay blessed, and Allah Hafiz.